I would like to invite Ms. Rija to say a few words about the book, and later on you can actually get the books behind and she can actually autograph for you. So we will just have a very short session, then I think the people would have arrived and we will start the book data discussion soon. Ms. Rija.
Thank you, Keith, and also to Dr. Azlan for his very kind words. He actually took the trouble yesterday to acquire the copy and to have a read. So he's very well versed with the contents, and what he has said just now sort of already summarizes what I'm also going to say. If we look around us, we are all social beings, and as human beings we need to interact. But slowly, surely, with the advent of information technology, what has happened is the younger generation, especially the Googlers, as I call them, or what we call the Generation Z onwards, tends to be so hooked onto their gadgets that they seem to have lost the art of conversing with family members. They are so immersed in their own technology and gadgets that sometimes you have to call them down for dinner, you have to call them down to meet guests, and who is to blame? Actually, some of us parents are also to blame to some extent. We can't say it's just information technology that has caused this. What are the values that we are also imparting to our children? That is also important because as the family guardians, the children look at us. And as social creatures, we need to interact. Otherwise, if the message is lost, that interaction is no longer necessary, use only gadgets, where will society come to? We need to interact, not just in our families, but also in organizations as well. No doubt, information technology has done wonders for the workplace. It has changed the landscape where learning is concerned, education is concerned, not just work. It has created many spaces. And as Dr. Azlan has mentioned, you can't stop it. It's only going to get better and better. But at the same time, human communication is also important. And the only way that can happen is if we put aside our gadgets and we take the time to interact with each other, right? So the message in my book is basically we have to bridge the gap because no doubt there are different generations. The parents are one generation, Gen Y, whereas the children, Gen Y and Gen X, and the children are Gen Z, and even the alphas are now getting into the picture as well. So we need to bridge the gap, but as Dr. Azlan has rightfully pointed out, each family is different, your context is different. The only thing that is common in families is the values that we hold. Whether you are Gen Z, Alpha, or Gen Y, or Gen X, as a family, what are the values that you hold close to your heart? Things like support, being able to be there for the other member in the family, love, togetherness, the sense of belonging. That is the thing that is common, that is finding. And the only way to do that is to ensure that we have more face-to-face communication. We spend time together, really spend time. Not a case of we all sit down at the dinner table but everybody is looking at their gadgets, right? And I think, I mentioned earlier, parents are to blame. Yes, to some extent, if you look at restaurants and so on, when you go to eat nowadays, you find that young parents are actually encouraging their children to keep them busy with gadgets so that they get the meal uninterrupted, which is not something that was there previously. And in those days, in my time, I think Keith's time and maybe Dr. Azlan's time, children were to be seen, not heard. Today, children are neither seen nor heard because they're all in different corners of the house or in private institutes, etc., and they're busy with their gadgets. So something has gone missing. We all have to deal with it. The elders must take the initiative to try to bridge the gap in the sense of trying to keep up with technology. No doubt technology is evolving very fast, but they need to make an attempt. Whereas the younger generation need to keep the gadgets aside and learn to spend more time physically in the presence of their elders, family members. Okay? So there are many solutions that I've offered in this book as well. The book is available at the back. Please take time to ponder on what Dr. Azlan has said and what Keith has also mentioned. And I hope this book will pique your interest and your brains as we move forward. Thank you. Thank you.